Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty interesting news coming out over here. We have a lot of stuff coming out. So number one, we actually have a brand new, now secret, PlayStation 5 game that's now being leaked and being sent on out. We also have more information now on the next upcoming Nintendo Direct and some apparent leaks / rumors coming out with that one. Some Forspoken actually coming out too as well, that apparently their early reviews and information are also coming out with that one. And as well, just a lot of little kind of nifty things to talk about, speculate on, and discuss. So we have, like I said, quite a few different things to talk about. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Amazon links down below, Target links down below, and the Twitter and Twitch room as well down below. And we got quite a few different topics all throughout today to go discuss. I'm kind of hyped up for that. So first and foremost, let's go discuss about this brand new AAA big one that's supposedly coming on over here. So to kind of give you guys the follow-up for this stuff, we actually have a brand new insider apparently floating around. So as you guys know, we've been seeing a different person too as well, such as the Snitch, and as well we also now have the real insider now, who have been kind of flowing the right ways around a little bit on the leaking side. A few things to note on this one is that, let me go read this. Just got word of a brand new AAA PlayStation new IP that will be revealed in the next 2 to 3 weeks. You know what that means, more details to come, and yes, apparently also the one who sent also the insider themselves, the DM. So let's go kind of break down some of this stuff. So we are and have been anticipating both a new Nintendo Direct as well as also another PlayStation event. Typically September is a good month for this. It kind of gets people prepped up for the holidays. And as you guys know, we're actually telling you guys the past probably week or so that the next upcoming PlayStation Direct has been rumored to come soon. And as you guys all know now, the next upcoming PlayStation Direct is now confirmed. So this is all actually coming out as of, I believe it's tomorrow, and we'll get a lot more information. So we even had Nintendo's tweet stating, tune in at 7 a.m. Pacific tomorrow, 9:13, for a Nintendo Direct with 40 minutes of information, mostly focused on the Nintendo Switch games, launching this winter. So, we saw a lot of the rumors on the upcoming Nintendo Direct, and now we're seeing once again the rumors coming up again for the next upcoming PlayStation Showcase. Whether it's a showcase or just, state of play, we'll have to go and see. But as we've mentioned, we're now seeing other insiders that were actually pretty good and pretty on point. The good example is that they were pretty on point when it comes to Assassin's Creed and all the Ubisoft announcements beforehand to add a little bit more credibility to them. Some folks are rumoring that a lot of these most new age leakers are just people who work at YouTube and they have access to see these channels, look at like unlisted videos, because obviously, like say these videos typically have like an embargo and they'll be scheduled to be uploaded as soon as they're announced publicly. So a good example for that is like, let's say for PlayStation, sometimes they would have like, let's say 15 new trailers drop right after a state of play. So then typically these people can go and look through the internal API and be like, oh my God, look, God of War, new gameplay, unlisted. Oh my God, brand new like FPS game that's going to compete with Call of Duty, unlisted. Let's go watch it. Okay, now we know what's going to happen. We know the dates, we know the times, etc., etc. So that's kind of like the ongoing rumor right now for all these folks. But with this, we do have a brand new now AAA coming out apparently next few weeks, which also would correspond with the timeline of the next upcoming potential PlayStation event. So we don't necessarily fully know exactly what's going to be coming out. I think a lot of folks, as I mentioned, are speculating more on an FPS side, mainly because we haven't really seen a good FPS from PlayStation and Sony for a while. And with all this ongoing Call of Duty news, I'm sure they've been working on it, and I'm sure they have a lot more focus on this, especially since they bought Bungie, aka Destiny, and obviously that means that FPS games are definitely on their minds. So it is kind of a nice news to see that obviously you have a big game company and they have a lot of money to spend and a lot of different studios, and they're probably going to keep on spending money making, developing, and getting brand new games coming out. So love to see this and love to see all this coming on out. So it does mean that we'll have some hopefully more hyper announcements soon, which also surprising though, because a lot of these big boy announcements, like such as Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, God of War Ragnarok, and a lot of like Harry Potter, Final Fantasy 16, a lot of these really big name AAA games have already been announced and announced far in the future. So if you guys want to have any speculation down below, let me know your thoughts. Like I said, I think I'm leaning towards a good FPS game, mainly because they need that to kind of fill up their, I guess, repertoire. Could also maybe be sometime too as well with the Naughty Dog new Last of Us multiplayer game, and just has like maybe more of an official announcement and name that has been leaked and flown around quite a bit. So very intriguing news. As well, the Nintendo Direct with their 40-minute preview, we've actually had a few little intriguing notes to mention. First and foremost, they do have quite a few games coming up these next few months. I'm sure they're going to be announcing stuff with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet coming out next few weeks. Maybe more so some stuff with Splatoon or Splatoon 3 DLC. Bayonetta 3 also hasn't had much more information. And as you guys can see, Sonic Frontiers, Persona 5 Royale, and No Man's Sky also might be tied on in. As we maybe made a video on like 2 days ago or so, with the new Switch Pro rumors coming out, we might have a chance to see some new news when it comes to the Switch Pro, or as well, maybe some new news with the Breath of the Wild 2. I do believe Breath of the Wild 2 was supposed to be coming out around this time, and usually Nintendo might be like, hey, all these upcoming games for winter. Well, guess what? Sometimes, we can maybe round up March, early March, into maybe still being in winter. I mean, technically the equinox is in like March 21st or whatever. And we know Nintendo sometimes likes to be like, oh, games for 2022. And then they'll throw in like 1 or 2 huge trailers for 2023 just to kind of go above and beyond. Like kind of set expectations low and then make everyone freak out on Twitter and make a trend. So we're going to be watching a little bit more closely tomorrow to see. Now, I'm not sure because they still have a Pokemon Switch coming out soon. Just had the Splatoon Switch coming out soon, so a Switch Pro announcement would be very strange, although it is getting close to the very overdue side, so hopefully sooner rather than later. And as well, we do have a few games they haven't really worked too much on, such as say Mario and other IPs, Breath of the Wild 2. So we'll kind of see how that kind of plays on out, and that also ties into with the PlayStation event, because if we're seeing new rumors for new IPs, we probably want some updates on God of War Ragnarok before it fully comes out, and like a more proper state of play. And I'm sure a lot more indie games or maybe early next year games, maybe updates on Final Fantasy 16 or Forspoken would be very nice to see. And as well, speaking of Forspoken, we actually did have a chance now to go and see some new gameplay with Forspoken itself. So a lot of folks out here have finally had a chance to check out the game and had like an early embargo lifted for it. So with Forspoken, the game itself has been delayed a few times, obviously, and that kind of stinks. But the big thing is that a lot of folks now have had a chance to go check out the game. And while this is not the most anticipated game out there, people actually say it's actually not that bad, which I'm pretty hyped up to go and play and stuff myself and see. So a lot of folks are basically saying it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz vibe, where all the JRPG tropes you'd expect from a studio that made Final Fantasy 15. So it's maybe skewing a little bit more towards like, the Asian type style game. And as well, maybe more on that humorous side too, with good animations, good maybe story, maybe a longer game too as well, so more on the RPG vibe, especially if you compare it to a game like Final Fantasy 2 as well. And a lot of folks are saying that the magic concept and everything else too has been very good, where the loading times coming from the PlayStation 5 kind of seems like it's making it feel like a proper good game. When it comes to this stuff too as well, they also even said it's unencumbered by a lot of these last gen constraints, which is nice to see. So it looks really, really good. We always like graphics in these games. Runs very, very good, so think SSDs. And as well, it just kind of seems like a very nice new vibe. I don't know, it's cool. I like the idea of this, especially because it seems like we're finally pushing more on next gen, which is very much on the overdue side. So a lot of people are saying on this early access, early viewership that the game looks good, that the game looks great, and I love to hear this. I want good looking games. And of course, this is like one of the upcoming next PlayStation 5 games, probably after God of War Ragnarok. So, I mean, it makes sense that hopefully we'll get some good press and promotion, be kind of good. As well as also apparently on a brand new engine on the Luminous engine too as well, and basically using that one too for Forspoken, the same engine they made for Final Fantasy 15 too as well, but they made improvements, made tweaks, made graphics all better, optimizations and all that type of stuff too, and as well, they could put a lot more focus on the artist vision, which is also nice to see, mainly because with that one, they can make things look beautiful, make the world and environment bigger, and all that too, and a lot of folks are saying this is actually a great game then advertising for the PlayStation 5, where like with all the effects, the particle effects, animations, and everything else are apparently good. And a lot of folks saying with their 1 hour time, they had no issues with any pop-ins, graphical bugs, or dodgy animations too as well. And while people might be kind of critiquing the game or judging maybe cringy dialogue, apparently the gameplay is very good. Apparently the game flow seems very good. And as well, magical parkour sounds like a fantastic, fantastic time. And as well, it may not be the best game out there, but Square Enix sometimes doesn't disappoint, so we'll see how it kind of plays on out. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed, give me your thoughts on the Nintendo Direct, the upcoming State of Play Direct, PlayStation exclusives, and all of that. We'd love to hear it, as well as make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. Twitter and Twitch stream down below, Target and Weeble as well down below, and Amazon links too. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.